Morning Facebook, how are we? As you can tell, my voice is 100% on its way out, which is not great because I've got 2 days full of training over the weekend. So I'm going to have to keep it short and drink lots of lemon and honey and ginger today. Kettle's boiling, thought I'd do a little video. So I was talking at an event last night in Reading, which was an amazing little event. So it's run by Adam Vickers and it's at the Grosvenor Casino in Reading. And I think there's probably about 35, 40 people there, something like that last night, which is amazing. And from what Adam said, there were quite a lot of new people there who hadn't been before. So if you're around Reading, I would definitely recommend this event. It's quite a different format to any of the other property networking events that I've been to. There was no formality to it at all, which for those of you that know me know that is kind of where I'm happiest. Yeah, I had a stage with disco balls, which was amazing, and a big screen behind me, which always makes me a bit nervous because I always want to see my slides in front of me. So when they're behind me, I forget sometimes what I'm supposed to be saying. So hopefully the guys that came to see me speak last night enjoyed it and it was of value. But the reason for this video this morning is that one of the guys that was there, his name's Philip Brown, and he asked me a really good question because I think it's obvious for most people that what goes on Facebook, you know, what goes into marketing and those sorts of things, they're the best versions of what we do, you know. It's the fun side of things. It's very rare that when I wake up and things are going really terribly that I jump on Facebook Live all happy and delighted. You know, on those days, generally, you know, I don't do that. But what he asked me was, what about when things go wrong? Do things ever go wrong? And I thought actually it was a really good question. And I thought, you know what, it's probably quite good to be quite honest about that stuff, because like with any business, you know, property's no different. Property sourcing, you know, rent to rent, all the different things that we do and don't do, you know, it has its days where actually it's quite hard. And he asked me what are the sorts of things that you have to contend with as a sourcer and as a rent to rent operator, and as a up and coming developer. What are the things that go wrong and what are the things that are hard and make days difficult? So I thought I'd do a really quick video this morning on that. People were coming into the office. So the first thing with rent-to-rent operation is that tenants are the biggest problem, I would say. They do things like they don't pay their rent. You know, that's very frustrating. We've got one at the moment, and we're having to deal with it, you know, the legal way. And you know, it's a frustrating thing. It's costing us money every month because we're not able to obviously get the rent on that room, and I obviously can't fill the room with anybody else because they're in it, living in it, and not paying the rent. So things always go wrong. That's just the nature of the business. If you're getting into this business and you're being sold a dream that actually you're not going to have to work hard and it's going to be easy and you're going to be a millionaire overnight and, you know, there's no long hours and there's going to be no tears, I hate to break it to you. Either I'm doing something really wrong or that's you just need to accept that is what's going to happen. I can see Angie on here. Now, Angie is one of my favourite people to follow on social media, Angie Nichols, and her and her family have done incredibly well over the last like sort of 12 months or so. And Angie's like laughing and saying in the comments, do things go wrong? Do they ever? You know, I think it's kind of a common understanding between the people that actually are running businesses doing this day in, day out, that, you know, shit goes wrong all the time. It's the nature of what we do. But let me tell you, you know, when things go right, that's why we get paid so well, is because actually, if you can balance the rough with the smooth, that's why it's such an incredible business. Angie, I'd be interested to know your comments on this if you're still on, what your experiences are in terms of things going wrong. You know, from our perspective, tenants paying their rent, you know, it's an obvious one. But other things that go wrong, you know, when we first started out, we had a really minor admin error. And we ended up signing up someone who was supposed to be like a contractor on a really short-term service accommodation sort of agreement to an AST because someone in the office got mixed up and gave them the wrong piece of paper. You know, we signed them up on the wrong agreement. What a mess. We had to organise all of that. Happens. You know, we've had internet days where we've got no internet. I've got like really heavy deadlines and we've got no internet. You know, we've had furniture ordered to be delivered to a house and it comes a day early or a day late. If it comes a day early, we don't even own or control the house yet. All that means is we have furniture in the garden. We've had that happen. You know, we've had, Angie's just commenting on here. So I ordered a load of stuff off of Amazon for one of our contractor houses in Milton Keynes. And I didn't read the instructions properly, or didn't read the adverts properly. And I ordered children's utensils for like a fake kitchen. So all the things that came from Amazon, I'd paid all this money because I thought it'd be easier and quicker because I only had like half a day to turn it round. And everything arrived and all the spoons were like this big and all of the like the spatulas and the pans and everything were all like children's kitchen ones. You know, I'd spent all that money and we had to do it again. You know, it happens. Boilers going down. You know, when the ice and the snow all happened a couple of weeks ago, we had you know, boilers, every single house that had a boiler with a condenser pipe, every single one went down. So we had no heat and no hot water across pretty much the whole portfolio. We were all running around like crazy people in the snow, couldn't get anywhere, you know, trying to get it all sorted. You know, stuff goes wrong. That's the reality of running a rent-to-rent business. But you have to remember, though, is that for everything that goes wrong, you know, 10 things go right, but for everything that goes right, 10 things go wrong. It's just the nature of the business. Phil Brown also asked me about the packaging side of things. What sorts of things go wrong and what are the scary things, you know, what are the things that actually once you've sold a deal, what can go wrong? I think the obvious one for me, I think the most frustrating one for me is I did a deal with a guy in Plymouth and he bought the deal off me and Angie's just posted on here, tenants asking us to bring more loo roll on a WhatsApp group. Yeah, we have those sorts of things too. So yeah, the guy in Plymouth, we sold the deal to him. He paid it, he took the keys, he set the house up, everything was fine. About 3 months in, he just stopped paying his rent to the landlord. Now, obviously as a packager, I'm the one that's introduced that person to that landlord, and so you know, whilst I'm not contractually involved in that relationship, because I obviously don't get involved in that if I'm selling it, at the same time, that landlord obviously is ringing me because I'm the one that's kind of sold the concept of rent to rent to them. I'm the one that's positioned that investor. I'm the one that's selected them. It's me really that they want answers from. So, you know, that took quite a lot of fixing. I had to get that investor, you know, to get him to start paying his rent. Now, you know, when people aren't paying their rent, there's usually a reason. It's obviously they've not got money or there's an admin error or whatever it is. But as a packager, actually, it's my reputation on the line with that landlord. It's my reputation on the line with that landlord's network and other landlords in that area. It's not my investors. So, you know, yeah, we get involved and we have to make sure that we're pushing that stuff through and making sure that those things are not happening. So, yeah, things go wrong all the time. So I don't want anybody to be under the illusion that, you know, just because we talk about the positive stuff in this industry more than we talk about the negative, is that the negative things don't happen. I think the difference is when you're somebody, I guess, like me, like Angie, like Martina, who's on here, you know, like my team, Kat, Kelly, when the things go wrong, Justin as well, you know, when things go wrong, actually, we're very good at just sucking it up and getting on with it. Or closing our laptops, going home for a day and picking it up again the next morning and you know, getting on with it. You have to naturally accept that things will go wrong. If you don't, and you're not ready for that, and you want a kind of easy sailing business, this might not be the industry that's right for you. It might not be, because things will inevitably go wrong. You know, with our development side of things, you know, we've had deals that have fallen out. We've had investors that have dropped out. We've had, you know, we've done all of the work, and it's come to doing things like, you know, looking at the title plans and things like that, and actually the site they've told us we're looking at buying is not the site. You know, the red line on the map is a completely different location. Things happen like that. You know, you have to learn from every single time that something goes wrong. Martina's saying, do the panic dance and move on quickly and always ask for help. That's such a good point, Martina. It's really, really good point. You know, I don't pretend to think that I know everything. I really don't. You know, there's a lot of stuff in my head, but every day I learn something new. Every single day something happens and I think, oh, fuck, I didn't know that. And I'm really, really glad I know it now. And this is what I'll do next time to fix it. Kat in my office, she's always good at asking that question. Well, how do we make sure that this never happens again? What system can we put in place? What process can we put in place so that those things don't happen again? And I think it's actually failing is a good thing. Getting things wrong is a good thing. Success is a shitty teacher, actually. It's a really not a good teacher. If you have a really easy life and things go right all the time, actually you don't really learn an awful lot. And, you know, it's not as satisfying, I don't think. I can see that Angie's put on here on the comments, is when it goes, when it goes right though, it's the best, and the job satisfaction is huge. That's true. When it goes wrong and you manage to turn it around and fix it and get it to going right, you know what Angie's saying, is it's an incredible, incredible feeling, and it feels great. So, you know, this morning I wanted to just bring a little bit of reality and what this shit looks like when you kind of strip it bare. You know, yeah, I'm sat here with my Tesco's breakfast. I'm going to have scrambled eggs and salmon. And I've got a carb killer bar somewhere, still working on my skydive diet. You know, it is early morning some days. I have come in with a sore throat because I've got stuff to do today. We've got meetings and all sorts going on. You know, it is what it is. But let me tell you, it's so much fun. So even though things go wrong all the time, it feels incredible. And actually, if you're up for the roller coaster and you want to get involved in this business, you know, starting with rent to rent, starting with packaging, these sorts of things, if you're an entry point, or even if you're sourcing bigger deals like developments, commercial to resis, whatever it is, honestly, it's so much fun. Do it. Have an amazing Friday, everybody. I hope that you have a great day. I'm going to go because my voice feels like it's literally on the verge of disappearing. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll catch up with you guys on Monday. See you later. Bye.